My name is Rayna Lountzis, and I'm in my third year of PhD in film studies in the Montfort University. I am also a transformational coach, and Power Vibe Club is the coaching aspect of my business, where I support creative people to deliver their idea from a small idea to their like in conception. So basically, if you have an idea about creating your business, um, what I do is I support you to deliver it to reality, and I support you with mindset and business creation as well. So by the end of the program, the 12 weeks, you are a business and you have customers as well. I also work with people with mothers, supporting them on their motherhood, parenthood journey. And I do one-to-ones as well, transformation on self-image specifically and becoming more confident. And this is one small part of what I do. I class myself as a firecracker entrepreneur, and I work on other projects as well, one of which is the British Academy Innovation Fellowship with Professor Jason Lee, Evolution Film, where we address mental health and disability in the film industry. I came in 2010 to the UK, and I did a foundation year in art and design. I had aspirations to go into performing arts and dance, as I used to be a Bulgarian traditional dancer for 9 years prior to that. And then it was not something that I can accommodate here in this country. So I had to, shift and see what I want to do. At that point, I found event management bachelor degree in Coventry University. And as I was interested in organizing events and weddings specifically, I thought this is an amazing opportunity. So that's what I did for my bachelor's degree. And then in the first year of my bachelor's degree, I met my husband, who is a film director, and he is coming from Greece. And I developed this passion for films. So we've done a feature film back in Coventry, self-funded, in 2016. I did for my bachelor degree final project dissertation. It was related to film makings and the entertainment industry. And after that, I decided to do a master's degree. So there was a few years gap between my bachelor's and master's. But, in that time, I still had passion for filmmaking and exploring different styles of filmmaking. So my master's degree, I did in University of Birmingham. And my dissertation on that was a slow TV style documentary, The Mystery of Baptism, An Orthodox Journey. It was a 25-minute short film, which I really enjoy, exploring the documentary style and the slow TV style. And then still in the background, there was this, thinking about how we can make a difference in the film industry as, independent filmmakers, how we can get our projects out there if we don't follow necessarily the traditional route of funding. So I had this idea about filmmaking and funding, and this is when I had conversation with my supervisor, Professor Jason Lee, back in February of 2019. I came with this idea, and then from there, I started my doctoral degree in April 2019, and it has been an amazing journey of transformation and growth from independent filmmaking and financing. The project shifted into creating a new film movement, which I have called situational film, where I give my actors situations rather than script to follow, and I allow them to have full creative control over the dialogue, and to come from a place of authenticity and divinity that we are all in. So I would work with them prior to filming through mindfulness and meditation, tuning them into the best version of themselves, into their highest timeline, and then give them a situation that they're in so they can act from that place. The doctoral degree journey, it could be quite an isolating journey, especially in the last few years with the pandemic as well, but it doesn't have to be, you know. So for me, it has directly linked into the healing of your self-image, or transforming and transmuting your self-image and what you believe that you are. So it's a lot of inner work that I have undertaken in the last few years, and this is where I kind of found my calling, and I stepped into coaching as well to help people not to spend so long time, you know, on wondering what is it that they want to do, and how they're going to do it, but giving and bridging that gap between your current self-image of what you believe about yourself right now, so you can achieve your goals that you want for your life, you know, to the self-image that is going to match the best version of yourself who lives in your highest timeline. And that
Okay.
concept, it's shifting and changing all the time. It's normal, you know. Change and growth and expansion is part of this process of life that we are undertaking, but it all comes down to what you believe about yourself. So, you know, I remember when I hit rock bottom and I was like, English is not my first language, I would never make it, and I have lost kind of my passion for, you know, academia. And it was only then when I had this awareness of, hold on a minute, what am I trying to do? You know, the people that I'm trying to serve through this project, through every project that I work on, but, you know, talking about the PhD, you know, and all these independent filmmakers who, for example, have the doubt of how can I get my film out there? How can I get my creative work out there, you know, into the world and make a difference? But they are kind of contracting themselves, and they don't let their full potential expand because of the beliefs that they have about themselves. I would say, first of all, identify what you want. And if you are already on this journey, if you are already in academia, and this is not going to be far further from the purpose and the mission that you have in life as a divine being, okay? So follow this and identify what is it that you want, and don't see it as um you know, a burden that you have to do it, you know, the university all these years, and but see it as an investment in yourself. And when you shift your perception, and when you just appreciate, you know, what you have, and that you are here in this country, you know, it's we have this opportunity here in this country to grow, and we are creating our own opportunities. So we are privileged, because if I, from my perspective, go and think about Bulgaria, for example, or other countries in the world where there is no such opportunities, you know, I experience so much appreciation and grace that I'm here right now at this moment of time. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'm investing in myself. Think about it as investment in yourself. You are creating your own opportunities. See this as a place of networking, a place of expansion. You can do the project that you want to do, even if it is in your bachelor degree, even if it's in your master's degree. I mean, the doctoral degree, it's more self-study oriented, as you know. But even in the bachelor and in master's degree, you are guided. So use this in your advantage. So a lot of people say, for example, struggle when they're in university. There is a lot of things being said about mental health, and, you know, it's really tough journey when you are committing to something that is long term, be that a
Okay.
bachelor degree or a doctoral degree. Um, and I think in order to sustain momentum when you are committing to such a project, because first of all, responsibility. Take your responsibility. You have signed up for this, okay? You knew that it's gonna be hard. You knew that it's not gonna be easy. Take your responsibility and your ownership, and know that you have chosen this. Then I would say, but refocus. If you feel like you are getting stressed or overwhelmed, or you're getting anxious because the demand is too high, or because some of the things that you need to do, you don't want to do it, but it's part of that process, create yourself like a morning routine where you focus back into, you know, the vision that you have. for yourself and how your academic journey, it's part of this vision, so you can keep that momentum going. And then another thing that is so important is the community. It's the accountability. So find someone that inspires you, someone that can even guide you through, but facilitate space for your growth journey. You know, it could be like motivation, like I do coaching, I support people with that as well. So I support creative. So if you feel like, oh, this is something that I want to do, I need this in my life, you know, there is membership option that you can come into, and you can feel supported. You can set your intentions or what you want to do on the project that you're working in any area of your life, but in that as well. So we focus on business and on academic journey. Set that intention, see how it goes. And this is like the accountability aspect of the community, where you can feel like you are accepted as you come, and you grow and you expand, and then you celebrate yourself at the end, because it's so important. We so much forget how to love and appreciate ourselves, and we are so much into this, oh, I need to do that, I need to do that. So it gets to the point where it's frustrating. And if there is no right support, or if you don't have a support group, you know, people who cheer on you, it's really a really hard journey. So situational film movement, it's a novel way of filmmaking. So what I have done is I have created a script where it's a non-traditional script. Instead of you know, the flow of script that you know, it's a situations, and two actors are played. So it's two characters, sorry, two characters are played by 8 different actors throughout, and they're put in situation. And that from that situation, before we film, I give instructions to each one of the actors, and then they have instructions both as well. Some of the instructions they're not aware of what is. And then before we film, I tune them into the best version of themselves, the most authentic version of themselves, who lives in their highest timeline through meditation. And then I let them act from that space. So it's uninterrupted filming. And then from that, my idea is then to edit the film itself based on situation. So there is a narrative, but I'm also gonna create a documentary. So like behind the scenes, basically, from all the rest of the things that have come through. And I want to explore if there is any differences in, you know, psychological, societal, political, if you want, a few aspects, if there is any kind of difference between that, and what is authenticity and how authenticity shines through. I think it, so first of all, it was like you know, a long journey of identifying what is it that I want to do. As it is a big project for 3 years, you need to be driven. You need to have to find passion on a daily basis. So when I started working on my self-image, I identified ways of being that I am not. It was ways of being, learned ways of being that come from ancestral learnings, and, you know, childhood and all that. So that was not me, you know. So the deeper I was going into this journey of self-awareness and this inward introspective, you know, looking at myself, kind of observing myself, I see that I've noticed that, oh, this is not me. Like, I don't, this is not the way that I want to behave, you know, this is not the way how I want to show up in life. Okay. So it was inspired of, okay, if this is not how I want to show up in life, then how do I want to show up in life? So I found that, and of course, now you can um, take whatever you resonate with, and whatever you disagree with, just leave it behind. It's just, you know, I welcome you to come with open mind about what I'm saying to you now. So if I was not this way of being, if this was a behavior that I have learned from my parents, for example, and I carry it on in my family line and I give it to my children, right? Then what is the real me, how the real me wants to behave, you know? So I found that the more I peel the layers of untruth of who I am, you know, I found that, okay, who I am actually, it's a completely different set of behaviors. It's a completely different set of beliefs. And that was inspired from that place. And then authenticity for me, it's being that person as I'm going to be with me here right now. I will behave the same way with myself. I'll have the talk with myself the same way as I'm going to have a talk with you. I'm going to have the same way of talk and belief system, and, you know, with my husband, with my children, with my clients, on the conferences that I go and speak, you know. So this is me in the truth and authenticity that I am. Okay. So there is no acting differently. There is no holding yourself and being someone that you are not. You're just showing up vulnerable, authentic, true, and raw as you are in the core of what you are. But before you reach that point, and I think this is one thing that I want to further explore in the situational movement that I'm doing, it's the step before that. So the authenticity, you cannot create it. It's already there. It's like in the very core. Okay. But what is the layers that they are around authenticity that they need to come off so the authenticity shines through?
I don't know if we have much time, so I will finish the interview now, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, perfect.
Unless you have something that you think is important that you want to say, but I didn't ask you about.
I think we have covered everything pretty much. Yeah, I think at this
Okay.
point we are fine.
Okay. So thank you very much for this interview.
Brilliant. You're welcome.